Hey everyone, Egman here with Christian and his Metacooler deck that he ran yesterday during the Pro Play Games Weekend Championship. It was a 32-man tournament, I believe, and it was one that I helped live stream with. And this was the deck that played first round. And yeah, we want to talk about it. How are you doing, Christian?
I'm great, Eggman. How have you been?
I'm doing pretty good, actually. Not too bad. So you ran Metacooler, and why did you decide to do that for this tournament?
Main reason I ran Metacooler is because it was like the original Metacooler was like the first deck I ever played,
Mm-hmm.
and Metacooler returns is a pretty sizable up, so enough to where I was comfortable to like take it.
Mm-hmm.
Only other deck I considered was U7 Frieza, but I wasn't like ready to like just I wasn't happy with any list that I could come up with, so
Sure, sure. But I think this list is pretty strong, and I've been wanting to cover Metacooler deck for a really long time, and I know I've been telling my viewers that I'll have one, so I couldn't do it, but second best is, borrowing yours for a couple minutes. But let's talk about this
yeah.
leader. So on the front side, when this card is placed in your leader area, you get to choose one Big Getty Star from your deck and activate it. So you just get Big Getty Star from the beginning, and then its Awakening is pretty unique. When you have two or more Frieza Clan cards in play, you draw two cards and flip this card over. So you can, theoretically awaken whenever. It doesn't really have a turn limit or like a life limit. And, since it's really easy to awaken early, you usually do, which means you have like a lot of life lead and a big defense core, which really helps out this kind of grindy nature of this deck. And then on the awaken side, when this card attacks, place up to three cards from the top of your deck into your drop area, and they can choose one Metacooler or Metacooler Core card in drop area, add it to your hand. So you get 1+1, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of limited to which cards you pick up, but you still get some hand advantage there. And that has
Yeah.
two actives. Active main, once per turn, if you have two or more Frieza Clan cards in play, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, switch to rest mode, can't be switched to active mode during your opponent's next charge phase, and also active battle once per turn, choose up to one Metacooler card in your battle area, it gets plus 5k power for duration of the turn. And this is either player's turn, and it has to be a battle card, it can't be itself.
Yeah, if you could target your leader card, that it would be ridiculously good.
That'd be pretty bonkers.
It's still good as is,
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah, just some free defense for your infinite multiplication Metacoolers. So let's go through the list. So first, let's just talk about Big Getty Star, which is just pretty much more text for your leader on another card. But it's a field card and activate for one. You can switch this card to rest mode and place one card from the top of your deck in the drop area, and you can choose one Metacooler with an energy cost of two or less from your drop area and play it. So I think that's pretty much only the infinite multiplications, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
as of right now it is. That's actually the only way I could see the deck getting better is if they made better two drops.
Sure, sure. And I mean, having a 15k vanilla for one energy is still not terrible, and also, like, you get it for free as well. So
Yeah.
that's really helps the card advantage for this deck. Also, you can't get the one drop from the expansion or the anniversary box because it's a Metacooler core. It's not the
Yeah.
Metacooler. It's a different name, which is
Mhm.
really why like this card was really bad for a while because when it first came out, the it didn't really work with the leader because it wasn't the right name, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the awakened side of this leader is both now. It's Metacooler and Metacooler Core.
Yeah. I actually considered using the extra card from the anniversary box, and couldn't really justify it enough
Mm-hmm. I,
space wise.
I think Vegeta's Final Flash is a better card for the same kind of idea. So,
Um, I think the only idea that I had for like the extra card
mm-hmm.
that I didn't put in the deck was against Green Gohan. It's like on defense a free 15k
Mm-hmm.
because like you just use Big Eddie Star and leave an energy open, so
Yeah.
it's it's fair.
Mm-hmm.
So
So let's go
it's
through the
very niche though.
cards. Oh, so we've got the Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku Last Straw. It's the what? Plus 10k and
It's
double
basically
strike. Yeah.
Sankaba for yellow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't have like your life count really doesn't matter throughout the game. So being able to get extra life from this can help a lot. Like help with your card advantage even more. Did you ever think about using the Krillin, the same thing but with crit instead of double strike?
Um, yeah, it's just a matter of Double strike seems to be more relevant in this metagame than critical for
Mm-hmm.
this leader at least.
Yeah.
Um, like you just want to pressure their life total, and a lot of the times, early in the game especially, people are more inclined to take double strike than they are to take crit.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree. So good there. We kind of talked about him already, but Metacooler. So you get to play this when you play. You draw one, and you can also activate a big Getty Star. So in case they run any field control, and I doubt you've really run into any, but if they do, this can just get it back.
I haven't. No one's run it against me so far. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And then also the effect that you normally use is you may choose one card in your hand, place in your drop area. If you do, choose 2 infinite multiplication Metacoolers in your drop area and play them. So for 2 yellow energy, you get to play 2 15Ks, which is pretty, on curve, and I think is a good value play.
Yeah. Can be.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I guess it's 3 energy because it's 1 energy to play it, and then 2 to activate the active main. But I think that still can help you out with a lot of that. We've got Vegeta's Final Flash. So this one's really good for this is a good surprise tech, I think, in a lot of ways. So if all of your energy is yellow, when you activate this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, negated skills for duration of the turn. So if your opponent's kind of like going in all in with like a double strike that's on a battle card, not a leader, you can turn off the double strike and only take the 1 damage. Have you been surprising people with this at all?
I don't think it came up too much this week, but like last week it was really good against Invoker Goku.
Oh yeah.
Like the red blue one. It really was backbreaking against them because you'd use it against their Vegeta Invoker, and they'd pretty much be helpless at that point. Like,
yeah.
And another thing that it does is it actually is good against Emperor's Death Beam if they somehow could even do it if they beamed and got up to 3 and like negged your cooler because you're pumping it. So
yes, yeah, because it's either a leader card or a battle card too. So
yeah, and it doesn't even have to be a yellow battle card; it can be any. So
yes,
nice.
Next up, we've got Time Magic. Pretty easy negate, free negate. We're you don't have like a lot of energy recycling or anything like that, especially since you're a draw 2 leader. So having the free negate, I think, is the right call. And Sparking 5 is super easy with this leader.
Yeah, it's really good. And Self Awakening in this deck is kind of premium against a lot of the strategies that try to clear your board. So it's nice.
Next up, we've got your super combo. You're running 4 Zamasu, and this is, I think, of all the new ones, I think this is probably one of the best. It can like stop 2 attacks for free, and it has some extra synergy with the stuff you're running.
Yeah, it's especially synergistic with like Bergamo because a lot of the times you use it on your opponent's turn and you just lock them out of their turn in some way, either tapping their energy or their battle cards. It's really sweet.
Yeah, so this Bergamo's from the new draft box. It has this auto for 1 yellow and 1 colorless. When one of your opponent's cards is switched to rest mode by one of your skills, you can play it from your hand, so you get 20k for 2 energy, which is good. And then also, if your leader card is yellow or Universe 9, when you play this card, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards and or energy, ignoring barrier and switching to rest mode. So for 2 energy, you get to tap 2 of your opponent's energy and get a card on board. So that can be, yeah, as you were saying, a very strong combo.
Yeah, like 20k at worst is still not bad rate. Yeah.
And that you're only running 1 of him, but the 7-drop Bergamo, so he's a triple attack barrier, and when all of your opponent's energy is in rest mode, you can reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 3. So if you're able to set it up with Bergamo, the other one, you can have this as a 4-drop, and then when you play this card, choose all of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and switch in rest mode, and they can't be switched to active mode until the start of your opponent's next main phase. So not only do you have a threat, that swings 3 times, and like this deck is, really good at having a lot of bodies that swing. You get 3 more 25k attacks, and if they have any like blocker stuff, you're good. And also, you can kind of be a little bit greedy this turn because at least the stuff on the board can't swing very easily next turn.
It's primarily for the yellow Jiren that this deck often struggles against because like you just tap down all their and oftentimes the issue I had was I couldn't really get through. So Bergamo's kind of like the tech choice for that. Mind you, I didn't really face Jiren.
It got second though, so I mean, it was a good, idea to counter it.
Like it never came up because I didn't face Jiren in this weekend.
Yeah,
So
I think
if it
that's
came up,
a
then
really
it'd
good
be a strong option.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point though, because yeah, they usually just have a bunch of bodies that have barrier, but they're in active mode, so you can't swing on them. But if you have this Bergamo
Yeah.
instead and be able to rest everything, and you already have like a couple attacks
Yeah.
out, that it makes it very easy for it to make them.
Yeah,
use
this leader can't
resources.
stop their barrier stuff with
Hmm.
so yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Let's see. We'll go to. So you're running 10 of the infinite multiplication. Any reason that 10? Do you feel like that's just enough? Would you add more? Or you take some out? What's your thought?
I don't know if it's like the correct number, but
Hmm.
it just felt like it was like I hit it enough to where I'd usually awaken turn two.
Hmm.
So like that's kind of the goal with that.
Sure. What would be? What would you say is like the floor of it? Like, would you run any less than 7, or what would you say is like if someone's trying to put in some more extra tech in here? What would you say you'd want to put that down to?
I don't know. I'd have to test more to really list a good number. Like maybe like 8 is the minimum.
Okay.
But
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
So there's that. You're running 3 Swift Retaliation Cooler. This card's really nice in this deck.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like I don't even need to say how good a bad ring laser with a 15k body that draws a card, sometimes usually 2.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, because
like
if, oh, go for it. Go for it.
like in game 1, you saw like when
Hmm.
I just kind of did it twice to them when
Hmm.
they did topo,
Hmm.
and they end up like discarding 2 cards, and I like plus off of it. So it's
Yeah.
like it's great.
Yeah, so this card is really, especially with this leader. So you were on like turn 6 or something, but with leader, let's say you swing with leader first, and you also have Big Getty Star in rest. So you have your leader in rest, Big Getty Star in rest, and also 1 energy in rest for Big Getty Star. That means that by itself, with your leader by itself, you're able to have 3 things in rest mode, and then if you play the 3 to place cooler, you have 6 cards in rest immediately. So like
Yeah.
the setup for that's really nice, and then being able to draw 2 cards for also making sure their topo doesn't go through, or their flying nimbus, or their that new policeman negate. I forgot what it's called off the top.
I'm the one where like your battle cards attack into it and it
Mhm.
gets 5k each
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, that one.
I don't remember the name of it, but that, I can see that being like a really big. That could be kind of tough against this deck because you try to have so many swings. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see what else we got. So 3 Goku Ape. I think that's pretty obvious. You want more draw power. And
It's really standard. Hand destruction's really strong right now,
Mhm.
and you can just mill them and you just get free cards. So,
Yep.
yeah.
I think that's right. 2 of the Sun Gohan and Videl. So if you just pay 1 yellow and you draw 1 card.
And you -2 things by 5k ignoring barrier. It's
Mhm.
mainly for Jiren.
Yeah, I think it's a good
Same
deck
thing.
choice. Do you think it still deserves a spot in the main, or would you put this to the side?
I mean, the only reason why is like at worst, like I want to have 2 against Jiren, just
Mhm.
because it's like that good. I think it's one of the top 3 deck choices. Like that, Surge Goku and Surge Piccolo are probably the top 3. There's of course other strong decks like Demigra that this deck really struggled against.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
2 Hidden Power Use Kai. I think that makes sense because you need some extra boost, and you're also running
yeah,
Mira.
double strike.
Yeah. And
Yeah, Mira, strong finisher.
I mean, you've got the old Mira double strike battering laser in your deck, so they're it's
Pretty much, yeah. Can come up.
Let's see. So you're running 1 surprise attack Frieza. What's your thought about him?
It's really good in theory if like somehow they have a battle card and rest mode
Mhm.
on board. You could like I don't know like awaken super early using him
Mhm.
and not tap out, but that has never come up yet.
Yeah. I can
But
see it being like that because you can play him for free, and he's a Frieza's clan. So.
Yeah, that's
But,
good pressure.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, if there, I'd probably run more of this in this leader if you had more ways to KO stuff. But Yellow's not really known for doing.
Yeah, maybe just like put like the second one in and like you put Bergamo 7-drop in the side. So
Yeah. And then also you're running 2 of the chill. This card's sweet. You pretty much play it for free. It's a free 25k double strike. because you have to have 5 or more energy, which isn't too terrible with this deck. And then when one of your opponent's battle cards is switched to rest mode by a skill, and this can be on either player's turn. So your Zamasu super combo can do it, or your if your leader effect can also do it if it switches something. So I think it's a good card for that.
Yeah, like free 25k double strikers, really good.
Yeah.
It turns out you just have to note that it specifically needs battle cards to be tapped, so can't tap the leader or energy. So
yes, and then lastly, you're running the secret rare. I think it's a good choice, especially since it's. I mean, you have a bunch of 2-drops, so you just need 6 of them out.
You don't really do it like off of the 2-drops. It usually needs more than just the 2. So I was also thinking about running Belmont, like the. It's just
one.
I found it was really difficult to manage with. Can't really plus like Jiren does in that case. So
yeah, but you're also running like Bergamo and Chill. Like both these can be cheated out for very easily, and then so 5 and 5, and then just an infinite multiplication, and that's 12. So
yeah, like 90% of the time, Celzina is just kind of like a fancy card that gets milled, so it kind of feels bad. But when it milled that black smoke, that felt.
Yeah. Do you think? So you think this is the right secret rare for this deck, and it's probably better than Black Smoke in most situations?
I'd say you could probably go either way. It depends on how you really want to finish. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like they both could just get milled most of the time. So either.
Yeah. Like, if you're worried about not being able to keep a board presence, I think Black Smoke is probably better. But like this is obviously if you drop it, you usually win the game. So
I'd say Black Smoke is definitely better against Jiren. So
yeah,
like we could just take that into consideration.
So cool. And then quickly through the sideboard, most of these are just continuations of what you had. So like Final Flash, Gohan and Videl, but some additional cards you ran. 4 Flying Nimbus. I think this makes sense for if you're worried about a more aggressive deck.
Demigur mainly.
Yeah.
And Bibdi, I faced Demigur, still got 2-0'd by him, so it kind of.
Yeah, that's a really tough matchup for sure. 2 Frost, is this for Mill Cooler?
Yeah, it's primarily for Cooler. It didn't really come out, I didn't see Cooler, but there was one in the tournament, and I guess I dodged it.
Yeah.
It could come up.
And the second effect for these cards are getting better since the drop area is more important. You can shuffle back Great Ape Goku's or the new Rebrand as well.
Definitely a good application.
Goku, you think this is good for this, or was this just kind of like your last thing you put in?
It was kind of the last thing I put in. I wanted like more self-awakening against hand destruction, and it's also pressure. So like, there's situations where it came up, but it still got milled most of the time. So
yeah, I can see that.
Like it's just like.
Yeah, I mean it's like the least I think synergistic thing in your sideboard, which isn't bad, but it was obviously like the thing like that looks like. I guess I just put this in to get to 15. So.
I'm like, hopefully there's something better that I can think of in the future, but for now, maybe you just go like.
Sideboards are really hard. It's like my least favorite thing about deck building. It's why I rarely.
It's the most abstract thing about this card game, really. Like. Yeah. It's all theory. It's like, oh, what's good? What do I need to prepare for? And it feels a lot better from like the set 2 days where like Stenbird was really. It was either a meme or it was just so standard to like have Haru and all of that. So.
Yeah, a lot more options. So, all right, cool. That's it for the deck. And then anything else you want to talk about or your performance or?
I feel I definitely could have done a lot better for sure. Like I feel a little out of my element playing this because I don't usually play aggro, but I had a lot of fun and. Kind of why I brought this in the first place. So
yeah, this deck definitely looks super fun, and congrats to your placement as well. And I believe your match will be uploaded to the PPG YouTube channel. If it is, I'll put a description or a link in the description. And then also, if any of you guys have any interest in doing any of the online tournaments for PPG, I'll put links to their site as well. They're running like tournaments like almost every day, it seems like. So a lot of opportunities right now when no one can leave the house to play this game. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Any shoutouts before we log off?
No, not really. I think PPG just had a great event, and they just need to keep it up.
Perfect. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you all next time.